Greetings. I'm Pastor Eric Smith, and this is Wakening Grace. One of my favorite stories is of the Methodist bishop and a young man who sat beside each other on an airplane flight. The young man carried with him a thick Bible with an artfully crafted leather cover. He was a young man on a mission to bring salvation to everyone he talked to. He struck up a conversation with the bishop, who wasn't wearing a clergy collar, and so his vocation wasn't obvious. It didn't take long for the young man to get to the topic of Christianity, and with the boldness of his youth and the conviction of young faith, he looked the bishop in the eye and said, "Are you saved?" With an apparently simple and yet most profound response, the bishop replied, "You'd have to ask my wife." That's both funny and beautiful. You know why it's funny. It's beautiful because the truth of faith is revealed in relationship. Consider some big people of faith, people like Abraham and Sarah, Moses, David, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Mary, Jesus, Paul. There are so many more. They all had encounters with God, just God and them, but they didn't stop with a personal encounter. Coming out of their encounter, they engaged with others because of what they had learned from God. They had new purpose. In some instances, that purpose was clearly defined. Other times, it was more a sense of direction. They are heroes of faith because they acted out of the revelation they experienced with God. They were transformed. They embodied dynamics of spirit and life and creation, of peace and hope and compassion for others who found inspiration themselves to connect with, and then respond to God. Rather than having faith, they were practicing faith. Faith is born out of revelation, but it lives in our doing and our action. Faith is not passive. It is a continuing wakening of grace. We practice faith, and those we're closest to are God's witnesses. Will you pray with me? Oh God, we are grateful that you claim us as your own. I want to embrace the revealing of your purposes for my life and make this awakening my practice today and all of my days. Amen.